There's an estate here in San Diego with a private beach that can never be replicated. And that's not even the wildest part about where San Diego's wealthy live. There's places here where entire neighborhoods overlook the ocean, where privacy is the ultimate luxury, and where estates are so big they feel like a 5-star resort. So today I'm breaking down 5 areas where the ultra rich in San Diego actually want to live. Alright, let's get into it. Now if you want to understand real wealth in San Diego, then you have to start in Rancho Santa Fe. This is where old money feels absolutely timeless, and there's massive estates worth 15, 20, 30, even $100 million. This place was first designed as a master plan community, so the area has strict regulations that protect property values. You can't just build anything out here, and that's exactly why the rich love it. Russell Wilson and his wife just listed their mansion for $55 million, which would break records if it sells. It's on 8 acres, the main residence is 30,000 square feet, and they just did a complete renovation of the property. But here's where it jumps to a whole new level. 16401 Calle Feliz is listed for $85 million. It's 77 acres, 25 bedrooms, there's a private lake, and a state-of-the-art equestrian facility. So I wouldn't really even call this a house at this point. This is a full-on luxury resort. And what's absolutely wild is property taxes would be $85,000 a month. That's more than what most people make in a year. But if that's just a ridiculous price for a house, wait till you see the most expensive listing in San Diego later on in the video. Now the biggest sale in the last 24 months was 5992 Calle Camposeco, purchased by one of the top real estate developers in San Diego. 19 bedrooms, 23 bathrooms, 2 guest villas, and just under 40 acres of property. I mean, this place is just incredible, and there's over 3,000 species of plants here. So Rancho Santa Fe is filled with Mediterranean villas that look like they came from Italy. And I mean, this is one of the wealthiest areas in all of California. These lots are massive here, and with this much space, the ultra wealthy love building these giant compounds. And the amenities, well, I mean, what more could you ask for? I mean, this is absolutely incredible what you can find out here. It feels like you're in a 5-star resort. So you get all the private club facilities, there's miles and miles of horseback trails, and of course you've got the golf course. Now, median sales price just hit $4.7 million, up 12% from last year, and price per square foot in Rancho Santa Fe is right around $900. But last year, 5508 Avenida Maravillas broke the price per square foot record at $1,854. So just to put that in perspective, the median price per square foot in San Diego is $577. Now, Rancho Santa Fe might be the ultimate place for privacy, but not everyone wants 40 acres of land. So let's head out to the coast of La Jolla. This is one of San Diego's most iconic stretches of coastline. You've got pristine beaches, panoramic views, and one of the best coastal lifestyles in Southern California. Alicia Keys and her husband bought the famous Razor House back in 2019 for $21 million. Mitt Romney sold his La Jolla mansion for $23.5 million in an off-market deal, and these are Malibu type of numbers for a San Diego beach house. Now when you live oceanfront in La Jolla, you normally start your day off with the morning surf, but unlike the Hollywood Hills, nobody's watching you here, and that's why the elite love it. They want to escape all the videos and photos, and that's why La Jolla is the perfect place for them. Now one property that's getting global attention is the Sandcastle. It's listed for $93 million, the most expensive listing on the market. It has its own private beach and a seawall that can never be replicated again. 10 bedrooms, 17 bathrooms. This is one of the most iconic properties ever built in San Diego. There's over 300 feet of ocean frontage, gold-plated ceilings, and tons of details from the French Riviera. And with all the new coastal regulations, you can never build something like this ever again. Now, if you grew up reading Dr. Seuss like I did, you can actually buy his house right now. I mean, this is such an iconic property to La Jolla, and he actually wrote 42 of his books here. It's nearly 5,000 square feet, there's 4 bedrooms and bathrooms, and bidding starts at $10 million. Now this house was for sale back in 2022, but none of the bids were accepted, so let's see if there's a lucky winner this time around. The median price just hit $2.4 million in La Jolla, and that's up 7% from last year. And when you hear about those $20 or $50 million sales, that's really the trophy side of La Jolla. But the reality is there's some more affordable options too. So if you don't need 10 bedrooms or gold-plated ceilings, you can still get in here at a more reasonable price point. But if you want that full-on luxury experience, that's where you start creeping into the $8, $12, $15 million range. Alright, now just north of La Jolla is Del Mar, California. Back in October of 2022, it had the highest home sale in the history of San Diego, and I'll tell you who the new homeowner is in just a second. Now, if I had to describe Del Mar, it would be exclusive, understated, and low-key luxury. This is where your neighbors aren't just wealthy, they're low profile. They could be the founder of a billion-dollar company and you'd never know it. And yeah, of course, the houses here are nice, but what they really care about is the lifestyle. I mean, in Del Mar Village, homes sell for $5 to $15+ million, which means there's serious wealth in this beach town. Now, what some buyers really want is access to the social scene. Places like like Del Mar Country Club and Fairbanks Ranch are major hubs for executives, and those weekend tea times turn into 8-figure business deals. Now, the initiation and membership fees alone can cost more than a new car, but that's kind of the point, right? They want to keep their circle small. And speaking of executives, remember how I said one of the most expensive houses in San Diego sold in Del Mar? Well, the buyer was Bill Gates. 2808 Oceanfront Avenue, 6 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and 120 feet of ocean frontage. And just a few houses down, 2920 Camino Del Mar sold for $50 million in 2025, making it the most expensive home ever sold in San Diego. Now, the median listing price is around $2.5 million, but the mega estates can easily go for $10+ million. And something that most people don't know is that many of these ultra luxury properties never even hit the market. There's basically a network of high-end agents who connect buyers and sellers before properties ever get listed. So it's like a secret market that only the elite know about. And look, Del Mar has really become a hotspot for successful families. They have the best school district in all of San Diego here, and a lot of the top professionals want their kids going here. So it really represents that perfect balance of luxury and family life. All right, now this next town is probably one you've never heard of before. Solana Beach easily flies under the radar, but it has some of the highest price per square foot prices in San Diego. Some of these sell for over $2,000 a square foot, and 417 Pacific Avenue sold for an absolutely ridiculous price of $3,900 per square foot. Now, Solana Beach is tiny, and most of the country doesn't even know it exists, but buyers are lined up waiting to buy houses here. The lifestyle is quiet, it isn't flashy, and most people here aren't trying to impress anyone. It's basically still a little surf town just with multi-million-dollar real estate. Now, when you look at these houses from the street, they don't seem like $10 million homes, but once you step inside, it really hits you. There's floor-to-ceiling glass, panoramic ocean views, and I mean it's way less crowded than La Jolla. The median price sits just under $3 million, and there were only 72 houses sold in 2025, and that's way less than in La Jolla and Rancho Santa Fe, where both of them had over 250 sales. And what might surprise you about Solana Beach is that there's almost no more land left to build on here. Most of these homes were built decades ago, and when people buy houses here, they don't let go of them. So when a great property hits the market, it usually sells with multiple offers. For example, 326 South Nardo sold in 9 days for $500,000 over the asking price, and 645 Glenmont Drive sold in a week for over $200,000 over the asking price. And here's the thing, Solana Beach isn't really trying to compete with anyone else. There isn't a massive tourist scene around here, there's no big luxury shopping plazas, and it's just very quiet around here. Alright, so while Solana Beach is flying under the radar, Coronado's been a status symbol for generations. This place feels like a completely different world over here, and one recent sale hit over $20 million. 3 The Point sold back in 2023, 7 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms, and one of the best views of San Diego Bay. And that really sums up what Coronado's about. So there's bayfront and golf course estates and beachfront properties along Ocean Boulevard that almost never hit the market. And that's why the elite love it. It's safe, it's clean, and it's insulated from the rest of the city. I mean, even getting here feels completely different. The Coronado Bridge is the biggest in San Diego, and once you cross it, it feels like its own little world over here. 535 Ocean Boulevard is listed for $19.5 million, and it's less than 4,500 square feet. That's $4,400 a square foot. It just underwent a 2-year remodel, and it's in the historic district of Coronado. 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, and some of the most beautiful views of the beach. Also, Hotel del Coronado is one of the most iconic resorts on the West Coast. Built in 1888, it's one of the most recognizable beachfront resorts in the entire country. Presidents have stayed here, celebrities have stayed here, and what you probably didn't know is you can actually own real estate at the Del. There's private residences over here, and you get full ownership. There's also concierge services, security, spa, and restaurants just a few minutes away. It's basically resort living 365 days a year. Alright, well there you have it. What do you guys think about these areas? Or maybe were you expecting other places to make the list? Let me know down in the comments what you think. And by the way, I help people buy and sell homes all over San Diego, so if you plan on moving here, then feel free to reach out, especially if you're not from here. There's a link to my calendar down below where you can schedule a time with me, or you can just call, email, or text me. But also check out this video on homes you should absolutely avoid buying in San Diego, because you definitely don't want to make that mistake. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.